What it do? It's your boy, Illuminated D. And you know what I'm saying? We back with another one. It's a beautiful day today. August 15th, 2024. The first thing that I want to do is I want to come to you all and thank you to everybody that's liked and commented, and to all the subscribers who take their time to consume the content. We really appreciate you, Pops and I, because we know that you have busy lives, and we know that you have families, and to spend your time with us, we really appreciate you. So thank you. Jumping right into this, got a comment. Really appreciate your support. And it was from a Malcolm White, and he pretty much wanted me to talk about a topic on why men need street smarts in their lives. Okay. I'm going to tell you why I believe men and women as well, because I like to draw it in, because it's not just men who need street smarts, but women do too, because they can get finessed too. And a lot of times, yes. So everybody needs this knowledge. But I think that this is a great topic, Malcolm, and let's go ahead and jump right into it. So let's take a look at Christopher Columbus, and let's take a look at the Native Americans, or what the history books would call the Pilgrims. So Christopher Columbus was a voyager. He was an opportunist. He wanted to, expand, right? And he was European. And the Native Americans were just in their own world, in the woods, and they were hunting the same way as of the old. And when I say hunting, I mean they were chasing deer and maybe some buffalo, and they had spears and hooks and arrows, right? And arrowheads. But when we look at Christopher Columbus, Christopher Columbus was a different type of savage, because Christopher Columbus came from across the tracks. See, Christopher Columbus came from the water, and you got to remember that in the European origin, Rome was in play, right? Rome was in power, and then you started coming down, and then, they kind of came into the European factor. So in that European factor, we had a creation, which his name was Christopher Columbus. I need y'all to stay with me on why people need street smarts in their life, because imagine Christopher Columbus came from savagery. So he came from the pimps, the hoes, the thieves and the conniving and the finessers in order to survive where he was at, because they had already created their civilization. And in creating the civilization, right, the majesty, everybody was already on the time of, it takes money to make money. In order to make money, you have to create opportunities. And how do you create opportunities? Well, guess what? If I can go to the king and the queen and say, hey, look, I want to go on this voyage. I need this much money in order to be that voyager, to go and seek and find new for more opportunity, to create more capital for self, because they already had this mindset, right? They end up running into the Pilgrims. Now, the Pilgrims were chasing turkeys. The Pilgrims were chasing turkeys. They were chasing, buffalo. And they were out on the manger catching a vibe. You feel me? So Christopher Columbus goes out and he goes on a voyage. And then all of a sudden, he makes a wrong turn, because he was trying to go to the Indies and landed in the Americas, right? He did land on indigenous land, but he landed in the Americas, right? So what happens? Savage meets good-hearted person. Savage meets good-hearted person. Good-hearted person. Nice to meet you, friend. Hey, bro. What buddy talking about? Like, do they not know that that we're visitors. Like, bro, they got arrows, they got all this, bro. What if we can take their people, pilgrimage, pillage their people, and then turn them into what we want them to be? What if we actually take all the land? And you know what I'm saying? That would be crazy. Bro, I don't know if that's a good idea, bro. Bro, who gonna stop us? There's nobody here to do it. Damn, bro. You really about that shit? Bro, look, let's go ahead and set this up. Let's set this up. So, Christopher Columbus comes and talks to the pilgrim, or the Native American. Hey, nice to meet you, bro. Hey, I was wondering, can I buy some of your land? I want to buy that whole land plot. I want to buy Virginia. Remember? So this has happened, right? See, Christopher Columbus was a finesser. And the pilgrimage, the Native American, was a very humble, giving person, right? Yeah, absolutely. You can buy that land. What do you want? Like, we'll take some deer. How about I give you $13 for it? $13? I never seen this before. Sure, you can have that land. Well, the Native Americans didn't know that the land was for sale, because in their mind, the land was for everybody, because people just lived in the land and on the land and off the land. But back in Europe, they weren't living like this. They had to pay taxes. They were having wars. They were having civil wars. The Boston Tea Party, they were having savagery. So he came over here and said, well, guess what? I'm going to create a whole new. So this is why in today's time, we have the mindsets of the Christopher Columbus, and then we have the good-hearted people. And when you don't have street smarts, or you don't have local area smarts, and not having local area smarts, and not having your plugs right, not having individuals around you that know the specific areas or know the people, you can get something called pressed. You can get banged on. You can get, they gonna check you. You feel me? So knowing the people, knowing your surroundings, knowing the energy and the location, and never dropping location can definitely save you a lot of strife in your life. Because when you avoid drama, right? So avoiding drama takes you and puts you into a safe haven. And then when you come into environments, right? Because you can go certain places, and you got that guy that comes up and he can talk wings off a butterfly. He can talk, he can sell water to a well. You feel me? He can sell water to it. You know what I'm saying? He can literally sell anything, or try and buy you out of anything, or take anything, right? So if that's the case, we have to start looking at the dynamic of when you're in your safe haven and you come out of your safe haven without this knowledge, without understanding that people are starving, without understanding that people are at hard times, without understanding that if they see a good person and they see resources, and then if they have the ability to make a come up off the resource, people will definitely put you in a stressed position in order to either get what you have or put themselves in a better position by over leveraging the use of you. So, knowing that, yes, street smarts are absolutely key, vital. You have to really ask yourself, getting involved in anything of streets, because really, when I look at it and people say street smarts, I be like, well, why are you in the streets anyway? Aside from if you're like homeless or something and you have to be in the streets, or if you don't have a car so you have to walk across a certain side of the neighborhood, or if you got to ride a bike, like, what is causing you to have to be involved in street activity? Street activity should be left up to individuals who are playing in the street activity and they're about that life. If you're not about that street life activity, then why even be involved in a street life activity? Or if you are going to be involved in a street life activity, then you got to understand that you have to move a specific way, and you can't just be everywhere inside of the street activity, because when you're involved with street activity, people label you a street activity, and then once they label you a street activity, you have to move a specific way in order to survive. And some people make that decision knowing, so that means that they have to take the proper steps in order to make provision for self, in order to create sustainability inside of the lifestyle, inside of the environment that they choose to be in. I don't know if this is going over everybody's head, but I'm just kind of tapping into it so that you have a little bit of understanding of when I say everybody needs some sort of street knowledge. Everybody should have some sort of knowledge as to how to survive a finessing whenever the finesser comes to finesse. They taught kids, they taught you all, well, you know what I'm saying, with Dora Explorer, they taught the parents, because Swiper kept always coming to finesse somebody. He kept coming to swipe it. And Dora was the person who had to protect people. So you had to catch it. No swiping over here. No. So you can only be on two sides of the track. You're either going to be the finesser or the finessee, right? You're either the person that's getting finessed or you're doing the finessing. Or, really, that's the only two ways. Because remember, in life, there's only producers and there's consumers. And there's nothing wrong with consuming content as long as it's bringing you peace, motivation, knowledge, success, positivity, and joy in life. If it's bringing you drama, then you don't really want to be involved in it. I seen this movie called Next Day Air, and he said, if it's not worth dying for, then it's better not to be in it. Because we all want to be successful, we all want to be somewhere in life. But in order to do that, we got to do something we ain't never done before. And that's the reason that we doing this right here, right now. All right, everybody be blessed, be safe. It's a great day. Let's get it. Peace.